Alrighty boys, I think I might have just found the next 100 mil Pumpfun runner. In yesterday's video, we covered a token called Clippy that ran to an all-time high of 35 mil in the middle of August, and where we caught it was around a 4.5 mil market cap, just as it was starting to break out of a falling wedge pattern that it had been in for about a week. Since then, as we started to see sell pressure alleviate on the chart, we have seen a ton of buy pressure on the chart. People are scooping up tokens of Clippy, and in yesterday's video, I actually left out a lot of crucial information regarding Clippy that makes it even more bullish than I indicated. So without any further ado, if you guys do enjoy the video at any point, be sure to leave a like. It helps my content a lot. Definitely consider subscribing if you are new around here, and also check out the description for the link to my Discord community if you want to join. The spots are limited. I think I'll be closing it around 50 or 100 members maybe. We've already seen a ton of people join. I think we have like 25 or 30 people since I announced it yesterday, so join up while you still can. Love to see you guys over there. Anyways, let's get on into this video. Alrighty boys, now first things first, obviously let's take a look at the chart, the price action on Clippy from where we caught it yesterday. So obviously we caught it at these two circles, these red circles here in the Discord yesterday. Join over there if you want to catch these calls and stuff like that before I'm able to upload to the YouTube channel. I literally spent like an hour and a half earlier just sort of giving my thesis on the market, the tokens that we've been looking at recently to my Discord community earlier. But anyways, obviously yesterday I wanted to bring you guys this token because we started to break out of this falling wedge pattern. Immediately this came up on my radar as something bullish because I saw Clippy going crazy all throughout August, and I was really upset that I missed my entry on it. I was just really focused on the Jupe eco because it was kind of going crazy at the start of the month, so that was where my focus was at. But anyways, if we zoom out on the chart and take a look, you can see that I have this wave pattern drawn out that I'm thinking this is sort of how price is going to play out over the next week or two with Clippy. Obviously, I mentioned in my last video that there's a lot of like attention on this from Pumpfun, and it did have that sort of astronomical start that we've seen other tokens like Troll have, that we've seen other tokens like Uranus have, that ended up going on to become blue chip tokens. And by that, I mean like 100 mil plus, which doesn't obviously happen very often with meme coins. If we zoom in just a little closer on price action, you can see that since we called this token around that 4.5 mil, 5 mil market cap, you can see that we've struggled to break out past 6.5 mil, which has been a little strange to see. We've seen these two massive pumps here last night after I called it and earlier this morning, and unfortunately we just haven't been able to break past 6.5. So maybe instead of playing out exactly as I have it marked out on the chart, maybe we will go down from here and bounce off of the bottom of this average order block. But as I mentioned with a couple of other tokens in my previous video, I do think that we're going to see a similar wave pattern where we see the A, B, C, D, and then E, the explosive move toward the upside. But in the short term, the important thing for me to see over the next week or so is that we're able to break past 8.25 mil and reclaim that as a level of support like I mentioned in my last video on Clippy. Now let's get into that crucial information that I mentioned in the intro of the video that I didn't mention in yesterday's video about Clippy. One of those things being the lore video that Clippy has attached to its website that I somehow stupidly didn't click on or cover whatsoever. But if you click on this button here, which I'm not going to because I already have this open in another tab, it'll take you over to this video on YouTube from a very well-known content creator named Louis Rossmann. Now the title of the video is called Change Your Profile Picture to Clippy, I'm Serious, and then in the thumbnail is obviously the Clippy character. And this video came out 3 weeks ago and has already gained 4.2 million views on YouTube. Now it's actually so funny that I come across this meme coin when I do, because I literally just found this Louis Rossmann guy on YouTube like a week or two ago. I was sitting up at 3 or 4 in the morning. I fell asleep watching YouTube and I just kept getting woke up over and over again by ads. So I just said screw it. I got up, I went to make a coffee, and I started watching YouTube on my phone while I woke up. And I searched something up about advertisements, and I came across a video that this guy made a couple years ago about Roku installing advertisements into like their software on your TV. And I have a Roku TV, so I know about that. Anyways, this guy's awesome. He says a lot of things about big tech that I think a lot of people just don't even bother saying anymore because we've been going through this for 20-30 years at this point. Data being sold and held hostage, invasive practices, constant bombardment of advertisements that they intricately found out how to serve directly to you because you desire these things at this time. That's basically the format of Louis Rossmann's channel. He's very smart when it comes to this kind of stuff, and so he uses that to speak out on it. Well, after this video was uploaded by Louis Rossmann, and I'm pretty sure it went trending for the first couple of days, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people changed their profile pictures to Clippy in protest of big tech. To make it all make a little bit more sense, I'll just let Louis Rossmann explain in the video himself. I'll play this for you guys really quickly here.
I was listening to the Facebook whistleblower hearings with Senator Josh Hawley a few months back. One of the elements that stuck out to me was when they were talking about how if an underage girl has deleted a selfie, Meta keeps track of this because they know that this person likely has low self-esteem at that moment that they deleted a picture of themselves, which means that they may be more apt to purchase something from an advertiser of a cosmetic product. But when you look at what it is that companies got in trouble for in the 90s, it just doesn't hit the same when you look at what companies get away with now. I remember having a Dell Dimension 233 back in the day, and if you wanted to get the one that had slightly better graphics, they would give you a free installation of Microsoft Office. And with Microsoft Office back in the day, it came with Clippy. Whether or not you like Clippy and whether or not you liked Microsoft Office or having an operating system that had the browser built into it that could easily get you a virus when you visited other websites that were trying to invade your privacy, the one thing that you could say, unlike Facebook, who is trying to profit off of young girls that feel suicidal, Clippy simply wanted to help. He might have been annoying, but he just wanted to help. There were no ulterior motives. If you told Clippy that you were having a bad day, he wasn't going to use that information to try and figure out which advertiser to sell you to, nor was he trying to steal your personal data or get you to purchase other Microsoft products. He had no ulterior motives. He was simply there to help. Game of Thrones had, I'm not going to spoiler alert, there's this Sons of the Heartbeat in season 5. They were these people that wore masks and they pushed back against the new regime. And the purpose of the mask was to let the leaders know that when you see people with this mask, we are against you and your new regime, and we are going to push back against it as often as we can. And the worry with the Sons of the Heartbeat mask is that it starts with one person putting the mask on. And then somebody else gains the balls to put the mask on. And then 20 or 40 or 100 of them put the mask on. And once 100 or 1,000 of them put the mask on, there's nothing that the leaders can do at that point. Enough people have put it on, and enough people have come together with solidarity. And they're going to do something about it. I think that Clippy is like a modern day Sons of the Heartbeat mask. If you're tired of companies changing the terms of the sale after the sale and getting away with it, turn your profile photo to a Clippy. If you're tired of companies that have the ability to reach into your house and ransomware your products so that they stop working unless you pay them again, claiming that that's legal. But then when somebody tries to give you back access to what you bought and paid for, that's illegal. Change your profile photo to a Clippy. When a company CEO logs into their Slack and sees 10,000 Clippies looking back at them, what I hope occurs is that they intuitively understand that they no longer live in a world where they can get away with fucking over the consumer. That their employees, their partners are not going to be accomplices to this anymore. That they are alert and they are aware of what is going on, and they are going to politely but firmly push back against it. Every single one of those 10,000 people will be an obstacle to the anti-consumer practices and the anti-ownership practices, and it will no longer be another cog in the assembly line sending us all into a dystopia. There will be a moment where that one person who usually would not have a say in anything can be activated, and in that moment keep the world from sliding further into a dystopia.
So that was a bit of a longer clip, but I wanted to let it play for you guys just so you could get a full grasp of the lore. If you want to check out the full video, it is about 15 minutes long. I'll leave that down in the description below. And so the whole movement aspect of Clippy is something that I didn't really bring to you guys yesterday, and this is the pinned tweet on the official ClippyX account. They say, a movement starts with a simple change that speaks volumes across the world. You may look at the biggest projects over the past 5 years and say, what did they all have in common? Answer, mass adoption within and outside our ecosystem. Clippy is a movement, a meme, and a paperclip, the holy trinity. For those of you that care about our movement, we are the next step. We started as a protest against corporate data and AI overreach with a simple yet powerful change to our profiles. Now we're bringing every single Clippy together across YouTube, Reddit, and X and putting our money where our mouth is with some of the biggest names across platforms. 100% of our creator rewards are being used to support real change fighting legally against the powers that be. 50% being contributed towards foundations helping support our movement for users across the world, and the remaining 50% being put towards future initiatives and buybacks into Clippy. For those of you that love the meme, my clip is tingling. Clippy is as OG as it gets. Whether you loved him or hated him, he was always there to help. 400 million people use Clippy, and his cultural impact still remains. Zoom out. For those of you that love me just the way I am as a paperclip, ILY always. I'm just here to help. So now that I've been able to show you what the Clippy movement is all about over on CT and various other social media platforms as well, as we saw before on the chart, I would say that in this accumulation zone between 6.5 and 4 mil is going to be a good bit on Clippy before we go towards the upside once again. I think it'll take us about a week or two before we see all-time highs again on Clippy, but I could be wrong. This, of course, is the Solana trenches, and things can move very violently out of nowhere. Anyways, boys, that is about all I have for you in this video. If you enjoyed the video at any point, be sure to leave a like. It helps my content reach more people. Definitely consider subscribing if you are new around here. And with all that, I'm out of here. Peace.